Of course, I remember during that last episode we talked about, how webinars have come to really, not say replace, but better options than the physical events or physical conferences. So when it comes now to webinars, you have to first decide what is the best platform for your, for your setup, for your audience. For a webinar, you really need to have very nice visuals. Don't want to just project a PDF full of text. So you have to do very nice visuals for the presentation. Yeah, just making sure that everything will run smoothly during the D-Day. So during the session, you have to make sure that you have a backup. Otherwise, you will go dark and you leave your audience hanging.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. I think rehearsal is important. Yeah. We've done that. More people doing webinars. I feel like, for example, for Kenya, we feel a lot of businesses are not taking this advantage. We don't want to give names, but there are businesses we feel like webinars would really have a very big impact.
For sure.
Let's see more people. So, hi guys. Today I thought of saying hi. I think I've not said hi when starting this podcast in a while. So, last episode we discussed about the importance of doing webinars and various ways that has evolved in terms of people going live. Like that's a form of webinar and how you can leverage that to grow your brand and promote your products and services. And so we thought about probably the biggest challenge maybe people go through is asking themselves, how do you set up a webinar? A to Z.
Yeah.
The tools involved, how do you promote it? And the nitty-gritties around running it successfully. And so we have our... in terms of setting it up, from where we sit, like we're now doing our second webinar, and Dan runs our technical setup with Lawrence just here behind the scenes. I think for me, I help with more of topic curation, right? So I'm the topic guy.
The topic guy.
Yeah, but today we will just be covering the steps of how to set up a webinar. A to Z. So, Dan, I think you can get us started on the first step.
I think I would say the first step would be choosing the right platform. Because again, when you talk about a webinar, of course, you have to decide where are you hosting it. Of course, I remember during that last episode we talked about how webinars have come to really not say replace, but better options than the physical events or physical conferences. So when it comes now to webinars, you have to first decide what is the best platform for your, for your setup, for your audience. And of course now there are so many tools to do that. Softwares we have, the obvious ones, Google Meet, Zoom webinar. Zoom. I think Zoom does it so well because you're able to have a lot of tools. You get the recordings. You're able to interact with the audience through during the session. So there are also many other tools. We have Webex. We have another one actually called Demio. I thought it was a car first year. There's so many.
Can Google Meet, even Google Meet.
Yeah, Google Meet, yeah. I actually started with Google Meet. So depending, now it varies depending on what you want, because especially for Google Meet, most of them are built for, the plans are built for just, like internal one-on-one meetings. But now when you want a room, a webinar where you're having many participants, you have to upgrade, get a better plan which will give you. So basically, so get the right platform, the right platform for hosting your webinar, and then now from there move to the next
step, which is choosing a topic. So once you've gone through the platform and how to set it up, so choose a topic. Of course, you're choosing a topic in terms of your audience. You know your audience Absolutely. Deeply. You know the issues. Educational. There's how what are the issues you're trying to address with your webinar, educational? Is it product demo? Educational means you trying to make your audience, your potential customers or existing customers aware of some things. Awareness stage, I would say. I don't want to get so much into details because that would open a whole, but is it educational? Is it now your product demos? That's more of conversion stage where you're trying now to push people more into, into down the funnel. So you have to set your goals, right? The topic should be aligned with the goal you're trying to achieve. But overall, I think with a webinar, you can hit many goals, which is awareness, engagement, and also conversion at the same time. That's the beauty of a webinar. So, but make sure at least have that well stipulated before you launch your webinar. Back to you on the...
So, talked about the topic, choosing the topic. Now, after that, still needs to call it now building the attendees, like promoting because like an event, so you really need to promote it, let people know that you are holding the webinar. Of course, be it even existing contacts, they still need to know you have a webinar which is happening. So of course, this one you can do through social media. You can run email campaigns. Of course, that social media, paid ads. So many ways just to make sure that people are aware of the event happening. And of course, now trying to sell the value proposition. At the end of the day, what you're looking at is like also you are running a conversion ad for the webinar, because you need to know, you need to get as many attendees as possible so that you can now, make sure that the quorum you have is an audience which you can probably try and sell your products to, your services. So promoting the event, the webinar upfront is very important.
Okay, so promoting the event. After promoting the event.
So promoting now, I think now it comes to during the promotion period, like I think for us we mostly do 2 to 3 weeks. So during the promotional period, you just really have to now start doing the preparations. And that now goes all the way from the technical setup. You have to test your, you do a
mic testing.
Mic testing, you need to make sure it's your Zoom, is it on the plan which you want for the number of audience you want? Is your Zoom up to date? So that you don't get on during the webinar and then your mic is not working, your Zoom is not loading, because now also trying to make sure that the topic is well structured for presentation, prepare your slides. But for a webinar, you really need to have very nice visuals. Don't want to just project a PDF full of text. So you have to do very nice visuals for the presentation. Just making sure that everything will run smoothly during the D-Day. So, of course, so many things you have to consider also. Don't have a single device during the session. You have to make sure that you have a backup. Otherwise, you'll go dark and you leave your audience hanging.
I think that's a good one. I think rehearsal is important. We've done that for every webinar we've done. And I think after rehearsal, then you do the real thing. So just before the webinar, let's say the webinar is in an hour's time, send reminders.
Reminders.
I think what I would also say, when we are talking about promotions, you need to have a sequence that keeps on. When somebody signs up for the webinar, it keeps sending emails just
at intervals.
So build up the anticipation. Give snippets of the things you'll be discussing, and then the D-Day for the webinar. That's also something you really consider. So just before that, send a reminder, and then 5 minutes to another reminder. Tell people to join. We are live, even there's normally the live. Exactly. We are live now, you can join. And then engage people during the webinar. How do you use the webinar? So you have the introduction, the presentations, and then of course, most of the time you also have a Q&A.
Absolutely.
So let people engage, let them throw in the questions they have or comments, whatever, during the webinar, and then you handle them at the end after you've presented everything. I think you can have a host, somebody who is just making sure everything is running well. Actually, even during the webinar, there's the ones that are presenting, but also there's somebody who is making sure everything is working okay. So that's very important. Maybe, and also, if going back to the objectives, if let's say it's closing leads, and you want to so make sure your call to action is well aligned with after the Q&A, the call to action is well aligned with the objectives you're trying to push. Do you want people to buy? Tell them. Do you want people to engage? Tell them to engage. So, because you have attention of these people, so make sure you maximize for the maximum impact. After that, I think what is the other step?
You talked about call to action, very important. So after now you do the webinar. I mean post that, now the follow up. You don't just let them. Let the audience go, including even those ones who never. Even showed up for the real webinar. So you need to do a follow up would be something like a recap of what was presented. You share the recording for them to watch later. A recap for those who attended. Then for those who missed the session, they can also now follow the recording. Yeah, and of course now at the end of the day, you have their information, you have their emails, you have their numbers. So you put them in the database for a future session, of course. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, that's it for today. Is that enough for you to set up? Let's see more people doing webinars. I feel like, for example, for Kenya, we feel a lot of businesses are not taking this advantage. We don't want to give names, but there are businesses we feel like webinars would really have a very big impact.
For sure.
But anyway, webinars is, I would say, a lot of work. But it's never easy to do any of these things. So. Take the challenge today, launch that webinar. It's never too late. And let's see you in the next episode. So, bye-bye for now. Adios.